Fox News, and FM Talk Radio, 99.1 KKFT and 991FMTalk.com.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Benjamin, and you're listening to Real Life Habits for Success. Today in the studio, I have Mike Bosma, and Mike is the managing shareholder of the Bosma Group. Mike has been in public accounting, specializing in taxation for over 16 years. He has an in-depth experience in federal and state taxation with particular specialized training in the following areas: individual taxation, C corporations, S corporations, multi-state income, sales and property tax, and partnerships, just to name a few. Great to have you in the studio, my friend.
Glad to be here, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
All right, well, share with us some of your wisdom. What do you have for us today?
You know, right now, Jeff, what we're finding is with this economy, people really have to know where they are, both financially and in their tax structure and strategy. If they don't have that one dialed in, they're in trouble.
All right, well, give us another one of your tools, tips, and habits, Mike.
You can't manage what you can't measure, Jeff. The reality is many people, when the economy was booming, they were just using the balance in their checkbook to know how their business is doing. Now you've got to be able to have a reporting and reconciliation system that's dialed in so that you can know with certainty not only what your expenses are, but what your expenses are by category as a percentage of revenue, and then how you line up with your peers. You may be finding that you're not competitive as you're putting bids out there, and it could be because your cost of goods sold, your labor is just higher than the competition. And that peer analysis, that benchmarking is going to help you identify those areas to be able to manage them.
It's all about having a system as well, and I know that's what you help people with if they don't have a system, is designing a system or putting a system in place that can help them.
Absolutely, and the recurring nature of the system, once you get it in place, then to make sure that you're using it on a regular basis. And we spend a lot of time with our clients helping them understand their own financials, what those metrics mean, and then to be able to interpret the data. I mean, oftentimes people get a little hung up that it's not perfect. You know, my bookkeeper, they coded it as repairs versus office supplies. Well, you know, you can quantify that, and it's important that you have some consistency, but by and large, trying to take a more of a macro approach to managing your business and dial into the detail to make specific decisions. And Jeff, the next thing that you really need to be aware of is what your goals are, and make sure that those are written down and are clearly communicated to your team. One of the things that I consistently find is that when people understand what's expected of them, they perform at a much higher level.
Yeah, everyone needs goals. They need targets that they need to shoot at and shoot for. If they don't have those, they just continue to meander, or they're shooting at things that they shouldn't be spending time shooting at all, right?
Absolutely. It's easy to get distracted in this time of high technology and information.
All right, give us your fifth and final tool for success.
The fifth and final one, Jeff, is consequences count, and that's both positive and negative. You really need to be able to have an action plan. So if your people, if your customers are doing the right thing, to be able to give them that feedback and to have consequences to it. So, for example, if maybe you've got a personnel issue and you've talked to your blue in the face about it, people need to understand that you're a business of action, and that you're going to deal with the situations that there's going to be negative consequences for negative behavior. So make sure that your rhetoric reduces down to actionable items. You know, to recap, Jeffrey, the 5 things that I really want the listeners to understand is that, number 1, you got to know where you are. Yeah. Number 2, you need a reporting and reconciliation procedure. 3, a system that goes behind it, so there's a regularness to it. 4, stated goals. And 5, consequences for poor and good behavior.
Excellent tools, tips, and habits, Mike. How do people get in touch with you if they need some more information?
Call me or one of my team at the Bosma Group. My number, 775-786-4900. Of course, they can always email me, mbosma@thebosmagroup.com.
Real Life Habits for Success with Jeffrey Benjamin. RealLifeHabitsForSuccess.com.